That would make the most sense. If there were octopi in the ocean that were flying these funky spaceships, and they're like, yep, because they're not like anything else. It's probably octopi. It's also probably China. Who knows?
This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
Daddy made you some content. Your daddy made you some content. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Violent Professional Podcast. I appreciate that you're here and listening to this. And you wouldn't even know that I'm appreciating you unless you're fucking listening. So I appreciate you. Oh, what's that in my hand? Okay, so for everybody just tuning in or just listening to this podcast or just finding out about this motherfucking podcast, I am Whiskey Mike. I am the host of this motherfucking podcast. This is the Violent Professional Podcast. And I'm glad you're here. I truly am. You know, as shitty as this podcast is sometimes, I try to do it. Just fucking do it. Some kids would say I try to send it. Whoa, I almost spilt my beer. Spilt with a T. S-P-I-L-T. My beer. My beer. I am Whiskey Mike, and I'm here to party with you, you know. I'm the only one that parties. Unless you party, let's party. Okay? I've got things to talk about today. I've got plenty of things to talk about today, including how I'm trying to improve this fucking studio. Is it improving? I hope it is. I hope I'm giving you enjoyment in this podcast. I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Because you know I do. I love it. Otherwise, why the fuck would I do that? Why would I do it? Why would I continue to do episodes? Why would I continue to be in this room by myself? Doing me. Because I enjoy it. I don't give a fuck if you enjoy it. Unless you enjoy it. And then I do care. You know, it's part give and take. Part of me gives. Some of you take. But I try to do it for enjoyment, especially during these trying times, you know. It's a hard time out there in the hood, you know. It's hard to be a G out in the hood. So let's kick this off. I want to talk about something with you guys and girls or whoever, whatever you fucking identify as. If you have Netflix, go on Netflix and you're going to queue up Bo Burnham's new special, Inside. I have to fucking talk about it because it is fucking genius and I love it. I have watched it probably 3 times now in completion. So to explain what it is, it's essentially a comedy special because if you don't know who Bo Burnham is, go look his stuff up on YouTube or Netflix or anything like that. Follow. I don't know if he has social media. You might not. Based on how his comedy is, he thrashes social media and how it's horrible for the world in general. But the guy's a fucking genius. I'm gonna say it. He's a genius. Not only can he tickle the ivories, he throws in a comedic value into people's lives with the piano, with the music that he makes. And I watched this because it popped up. They were promoting it on Netflix, and I watched the episode because I was like, oh, I like Bo Burnham. He's got some funny stuff. I wonder what it's... And they have a picture of him with a beard and looking all crazy, and it says Inside on there. And so I was like, no expectations whatsoever when I went into the special. But he created this fucking... and I won't I won't spoil it for you, but he created this comedy special, which is completely different than anything I have seen, and I think many people have seen, seeing as it's on the news or not news, but it's in the media, and they're talking about it, how it's this special fucking thing that's out there. He essentially, you watch him make this special over the course of several months, if not a year, within 2020, and you find out stuff about him as far as his psychology with, when he decided to come back and do specials or, go on tour or what have you. Apparently 5 years prior to that, and this is all explained in his comedy special on Netflix, that he took a break from doing stand-up because he was having anxiety while he was on stage. And obviously, if you're a fucking performer that's on stage, that could be problematic. So he took 5 years, and then when 2020 hit, at the beginning of 2020, he decided, I'm going to go back on the road. I'm going to go I'm going to perform for people. And then, obviously, as we all know what happened in 2020 around March, it got a little fucking crazy for us here in the United States. So he was not able to, and he created this awesome fucking special. I won't get into what is all in it, but I am saying that you should go on Netflix if you have it and watch Bo Burnham Inside, because it's different. Like it's hard to be unique these days with some of the stuff it's hard to be unique these days on social media, especially. But he ends up making this very unique, original, fucking comedic special that has it's in one room for the entire time, and you can see it has been recorded over the course of a fucking year, essentially. And you see the changes that have that he has gone under. I've been drinking a little bit. Give me a break. You can see that he's changed over the course of the special to the end, where it's hard to tell if he's actually gone crazy by the end. But it's kind of portrayed that way, and it's to summarize it, it is showcasing I'm sure there's tons of people out there that have gone through this shit, but isolation. It's the embodiment of isolation in a comedic way to the ultimate breaking point at the end. So go check out Bo Burnham's Inside. It's Inside. And I'm sure if you have Netflix, you can just go on there. Yeah, it's a great comedy special. I haven't seen anything like it, and to be honest, I watched it, and then I watched it a few more times, and then I got blasted, and I play certain songs that he fucking does, like this one song that he has in there, which I fucking love, and I think is the funniest fucking thing ever. And I don't know if it has a title, because I don't think he's releasing an album. It's for that special, but it's about white women's Instagram pages. And that was like the funniest fucking thing. I won't explain what's on it. You just got to go watch this shit, all right? Don't make me do this, all right? Watch the fucking special, all right? Then you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the one that goes, white women on Instagram. That's the fucking thing, That is the fucking the funniest one to me that's on there. So go look at it. Go check it out. Bo Burnham Inside. So what have I been up to, you might be asking? Moving on. What's the segue here? What have I been up to? Well, I've been doing some stuff. Uploading YouTube content. I've been getting back into podcasts, as you may or may not know. I've been doing YouTube content and fucking podcast content. I have a new pop filter, or I switched it out, I put those on because I would have random people show up at the podcast, and we do episodes, and they would talk too fucking close, and it would be ridiculous, and they don't know how to podcast. So Now I switch back because it's me, and I understand how to do it, so I'll put on the sleeker, more defined pop filter. But I have been uploading YouTube content for people that like YouTube. All right, I'm trying to grow the audience on YouTube because some of you want to see my beautiful face and the mannerisms I have. But I got hit up by YouTube a few days ago, and I'll tell you what exactly happened. So I made this, and some of you have seen it. I made this little promo video, and I do these little things every so often where I do promo videos. And it usually entails something that I talked about on the podcast, or I take pieces of the podcast and I make a fucking little promo video, and I maybe do a little skit, or I have a meme or something like that. And it is focused on a small section of the podcast from the previous week. And so the one that I got notified by YouTube and them telling me like, oh, you better watch out. It was one that was where I said, beer, fuck, it tastes delicious. That's all it was. It was a fucking 4-second clip where I said, beer, fuck, it tastes delicious. And I took that and took some trap beats and I fucking intertwined them into a funky space song called Beer, Fuck It Tastes Delicious. Well, when I uploaded it to YouTube, I called it Beer, It Tastes Delicious, because I understand you can't put fuck in a YouTube title. So I said Beer, It Tastes Delicious. But when I was fucking rendering the whole clip and putting it together, I named the fucking clip Beer Fuck. So to YouTube, and what they sent me in my email was like, hey, by the way, you can't have beer fuck. You can't have beer fucking on YouTube. We won't let anybody beer fuck. Who is beer fucking? You beer fucking? No one's beer fucking. That's the name of the fucking file upload. And no one can see it except for me and fucking YouTube. Those motherfuckers beer fucked me and put a fucking strike on my account. Cocksuckers. Just because the file name was said beer fuck. Fucking dumb. You can't even beer fuck these days without anybody getting up your ass about beer fucking. Fuck you. This whole social media shit drives me fucking crazy. YouTube has now become social media. It's all nonsense. And I want to put out this shit for you guys. I want to put out fucking episodes, but I also don't want to be stifled by a lot of this shit. And it's annoying because like we don't really have that big of a following. You know, I just do this because I enjoy it. I don't care about numbers and all that stuff. And so like for them to come back and be like, we reviewed your clip. And it's like, don't you have something more important to do than fucking look at my fucking page? There's literally nobody looking at this shit. That's not true, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a fucking one of the big podcasts. I just do it because I like it. And you're fucking going, well, you put beer fuck in the file name that no one can see. So we have to shut it down. Shut it down! Ooh! This is the fucking time we're living in. I'm not one of those people that go, you're shutting me down. It's a violation of my First Amendment rights. I'm not really one of those people. You know, I understand the need for the First Amendment. I understand what people are saying when that happens on social media, but I'm not one of those people. But for fuck's sake, shutting down a video that's literally just saved that says beer fuck is ridiculous. You've gone too far. You've gone too far at that point. You know what I mean? Beerfuck.mpeg. Get the fuck. You know, I've been throwing up gang signs
gang signs while we've been talking. I've been throwing up gang signs since we have been talking on this fucking episode. And you're like, what is that on your finger? I know that's one of the things that some of you, if not all of you, are asking. Did you break your digit? Did you... What did you do? Did you slam it in a car door? Did you finger bang some lady at the sock hop? And you got a little bit frisky and broke that shit? No. Let me explain what happened. So I was getting in on the video games today. I was playing Warzone. I was boosting my stats, upgrading my sniper rifle. And I could only play a few games today. And I told my buddy David, you may have known David from previous podcasts. I told David, I said, hey man, I got to go do adult stuff. I can't sit here playing these kiddie games all day. While I do enjoy bunker busting, I do enjoy going to the Verdansk nightclubs. If you play Warzone, you understand what I'm saying. I do enjoy going to the gas stations in Verdansk. I do enjoy the Verdansk football teams. I do enjoy it. But I can't do that shit all day long. I've got to go do adult stuff. I've got to take care of my house. I've got to go clean up after myself. I got to do a little bit of laundry. Maybe I do some dishes today. I'm a single man. I'm a single man. I ain't got anybody breathing down my neck telling me what I can and can't do. So sometimes my house gets a little bit of fucking in disarray. So sometimes I got to take care of it, much like many of you. So I said, hey man, I got to go. And so I went and I was like, I got dishes. I got to do dishes. Well, in the sink, I didn't have an overflowing pile of dishes, but I had a few. I had like 2 plates. I like to make microwavable grilled cheeses, so I made some of those last night when I was fucking hammered. Make some cheese and rice. Make some ramen noodles. But I had 2 plates. I had 2 plates inside of my fucking sink. And I had a pot for making fucking water boil and stuff. And I had that in there. Then I had a couple forks, a couple knives, and a couple spoons. But also inside of there, I had one of my favorite fucking utensils, which are fucking cutlery, was a fucking Damascus steel chef's knife. And this is where the plot thickens. So, let me talk about why I have this blade, because you're like, why do you have to explain? Why do you have a Damascus steel fucking knife? You don't have to explain it. We understand. They're badass. We get it. But I do have to explain why I have this specific knife to add details to the story. So, I am washing the dishes with a sponge, and because I like to wash them before I put them in the dishwasher, because I don't want to, the more you fucking clean them off, the less you got to deal with the dishwasher, having food trapped in the filters and all that stuff. It just makes your life easy. No mess, no fuss. So I take a fucking sponge to the dishes. I put the plates in there, sometimes I take my Zia, my dog, and I fucking let her pre-wash is what I call it. And she cleans that shit, and then it's less of a mess to clean up. And I throw it in the dishwasher, great. But the Damascus blade is a little bit different. You got to clean it before you put it in there, because you might risk the fact that all of the residue from whatever you've been chopping up, you've been chopping some carrots, you've been chopping some fucking some fucking beef, some cow body. You've been chopping that cow body. There might be some residue on there. You need to clean it. So I like to pre-wash all my shit and I use a sponge on this blade. But when I pick this fucking thing up, because it has eaten my hands before. If you look at this blade wrong, you get cuts. Because it's so fucking sharp. It's so fucking sharp. I fucking hate this blade, but I love it. It's a love-hate relationship with this fucking thing because it has tasted my blood plenty of times. And by plenty, I mean I've had it for fucking 2 or 3 weeks, and it's cut me 4 times. God damn it. And not by my own fucking hand. It's not by my own hand. I just reach in to grab a plate and I'm like, God damn, there's the blade. Wow. And it fucking gets you. You cannot get close to the blade edge of this fucking thing. Because it fucking gets you. I don't know if you've had a fucking sharp knife, but if you have one of these fucking late night television blades that can cut through fucking leather straps and shit, and they'll show you. The Ron Popeil fucking knife will fucking show you. They'll show you. Look at me cut through this fucking Bible. The blades are super sharp. And I have one of those blades. Not the Ron Popeil Bible cutting blade, but I do have a fucking Damascus steel blade. And it is, I love and hate it. Okay, so let's continue on the story because I'm drifting off. I reach into the fucking sink. And I grab this blade, after and I'm very cautious because it has gotten me a few times now, as I just said. And I take the sponge and I start going on like the flat edge of it. And I'm like, God damn it. I need to wash this. I should have, hindsight 2020, I should have thrown it in the fucking dishwasher and said, fuck it. And I didn't even talk about this. The reason I have this blade to begin with is because when I moved down here to fucking Arkansas, I didn't have anything. I just left with the bare minimums, the computer, the fucking camera equipment, podcast equipment, clothes, and my parachute because I fucking love to skydive and I'm going to talk about it. But I came down here with bare minimums and I fucking bought everything else. So when I came down here, I was like, knife's a knife. And I bought one of these fucking like butcher block things with fucking knives in it, and I didn't even look. But they weren't even stainless steel. They were like fucking aluminum. And then I'm like, put them in the dishwasher, and they're coming out with rust spots. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can't cut food with that. So I've been replacing shit in that butcher block, and I think I have like one blade left that doesn't have rust all over it. Throughout the rest. But I've been slowly replacing knives. And this fucking thing, I was like, that's fucking dope. I'm going to get that. That thing, I want to fucking eat more meat, getting on that carnivore diet, looking after my health. And so I've been investing in better steel to cut meat, cut that cow body. And so I got this Damascus steel blade. And it's been fucking awesome, with the exception of today. Because I can deal with little fucking nicks, but I can't deal with what happened to me. It's fucking dramatic. So I'm washing this fucking thing. Fast forwarding. I can barely pick up this fucking beer. So I'm washing this thing. My hands are fucking slick wet. The blade is fucking got soap on it. I'm fucking washing it. Getting ready to fucking throw it in the dishwasher. And it slips out of my fucking hands. It slips out of my dick beaters. And I try to catch it, which was a giant mistake. And it fucking got the top of my finger. And it didn't just get the top of my finger. It sliced me to the fucking bone. I'm not joking whatsoever. I'm lucky that's all that happened. And it didn't even, I didn't even feel it touch me. And I was like, fuck it. I thought it just fell into the sink. And then all of a sudden, just blood pouring down my fucking finger into the sink. Because obviously, if you have water and a cut, it doesn't fucking clot. And it comes out like a fucking water hose that's been burst. So that's what was happening. Luckily, I have some medical shit from my time in the military. Some quick clot, some all that stuff. And I grab it. But there's blood literally everywhere. It's fucking spraying out of my fucking hand. And I'm like, holy fuck. I'm okay with blood. There's a lot of people that aren't, but in my time in life, I have experience with dealing with medical stuff, and I am okay with blood, so it didn't fucking bother me. The only thing I fucking go like when I look at cuts or anything like that, I'm like, how much blood is coming out? I'm like, wow, that's a lot, and a lot was coming out. So I grab my stuff and I start fucking just putting on gauze, putting on first thing I did, I put on the quick clot bandage and fucking wrap that shit tight. It was fine. It was fine, and it was working out. And I put pressure for 15 minutes, wrapped it up, no blood coming through the fucking the bandage, and it seemed to be stopping. So I unwrap it because I'm trying to check out and clean it out because it was a fucking dirty ass knife. I'm like, I gotta clean it, and no blood coming out, but this one little piece. It's one little piece, and as soon as I pull that up, blood spraying out. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I gotta fucking go to the ER if this is what's happening. So wrap it up again, and then mind you, there's blood everywhere, like it's all over the fucking place. So and I'm not just talking like a little bit. I'm saying there's blood everywhere. Like I probably lost a half a fucking pint of blood today, and so I'm like, I get some regular gauze and I put it on there, and I'm like, fuck. When you're trying to put pressure in gauze, you take a little ball, put it on there, and then wrap it around, make it tight. Well, I was losing circulation in my finger. My fucking fingertip was purple, and it became painful after a matter of a few minutes. But I'm trying to stop the blood, so I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I can deal with this up to an hour, be good. So, same thing, 15 minutes. I think I gave it about 20 for that one. No, it wasn't pouring blood or anything, but as soon as I fucking took that off, it was like, and I was like, oh, god damn it, I'm going to have to go to the fucking hospital. I have insurance, and I'm not worried about going to the hospital for terms of, like, getting stitches or whatever. But, like, for me, everything in my life revolves around how much time do I have, because I have a lot of stuff going on. And, my son's in Washington, and thinking about when I'm going to have him down here. He just left not too long ago, and he'll be back here next month. But I just look at things different. Like, money isn't really a factor to me. A lot of what I focus on in life is how much time can I dedicate to something. And how much time is taken from me. So the fact I was trying to wash dishes, and now I got to go to the fucking ER, which if you've been in the ER, you know how much of a time suck that can be for something even super small. I'm not saying that you should go to the ER if you have something super small, like a cold or something like that, but for something like this, like I couldn't stop. It wasn't bleeding. It didn't stop bleeding. It was like my finger was on its period. It was bleeding for 7 days, and I didn't die. But, and you don't trust me after that. Something that bleeds for a few days, you don't trust that. If it's still alive. But anyway, I started to get worried, because this happened 4 times. I fucking checked it out, Third time I waited a half hour, same thing, fucking, and I was like, god damn it, I'm gonna have to go get fucking stitches. I'm gonna have to go to the fucking ER, and I don't want to. I've got other shit I have to do, like do adult stuff. So anyway, I ended up wrapping it up, and this is the same bandage. This is the last one. Although it fucking hurts like a motherfucker, it is not bleeding or soaked through, so it worked. But, yeah. If you want a good blade, get that fucking Damascus steel. This is my promo for Damascus steel. If you want that shit, fucking get it, because it'll cut your fingers off. Maybe I'll do an update tomorrow and be like, look, I don't have a finger because it was infected, and I fucking get it taken care of. I should have gotten stitches. True story. I should have gotten stitches a few years ago for an open wound, and I didn't, because I'm a fucking idiot, and it bothers me to this day. It's my gaping hatchet wound. So this is what happened. Damascus Steel. Fuck you. It made me think about, like, and I messaged a few of the dudes I was telling, I was like, hey, I gotta go to the hospital. This is fucking bullshit. You know, I try to stay involved with the guys in Washington as much as I can while I'm here in Arkansas. And, you know, because they're my boys, you know. And so we talk every day, like we did before I left. And it feels great. It keeps me in touch with the dudes, makes me feel good while I'm, you know, figuring out the area, making new friends, which I made a few so far. As I was hitting them up today, I'm like, this makes me think of like 1980s and 1990 movies where like the big deal was like, and I'm sure you saw it, was like Something About Mary, where Ben Stiller zips his fucking balls up into his fucking pants. And they're like, we got a bleeder! It's like, I forgot that that's something that they fucking did in 1980s and 90s movies where like the bleeder was the big thing. And it's like they would scream it out on fucking movies. And it's like, that's kind of what I felt like today. I felt like I was like, dude, am I one of those? Like, am I in a fucking 1990s movie? I'm a bleeder, dude. But they used to, you remember those movies? They used to scream that shit. Like it was a big deal. You don't really hear that much these days. Is that a problem still? There's still a lot of people that are like that? That just, you get cut and you're a bleeder, like your blood doesn't coagulate and you don't clot? But, and the reason I'm talking about this is because David hit me up today and he was talking about some fucking vile shit. And I thought this would be a good segue, but because I just said his name, I'm not going to fucking talk about this. So I don't get him. But has to do with chicks that squirt and stuff. Like, he asked me about that. But that's another time because we started talking about it. I was like, this is a much better conversation if I have somebody across the table and we were recording it and we can bounce off each other. And it's not just me talking about chicks squirting by myself in a room. I feel a little bit creepy doing that. Anyway, so as you know, as you may or may not know, I am in Arkansas. I am in Arkansas right now, and I'm having a blasty blast. Having a blasty blast time. You know, but I was seeing this lady, and it just didn't work out as they do. As they don't sometimes, you know. I was married in the past, and I had a lot of time off from hanging out with women, and then I really enjoyed my time by myself, no bullshit, and then I started hanging out with somebody while I'm down here, and it just didn't work out. You know, as these things do, they don't work out, and I still don't. I enjoy being by myself. If I could talk about it, I enjoy being by myself. I don't like the bullshit that's involved with relationships. I just fucking don't. For me, it's like I like to come and go as I please. You know, I gotta focus on stacking them chips. I like investments. I like that Dogecoin. I like pushing most of my money into the fucking stock market to get diversify my bonds and plus up my amount of passive income. And so a lot of my life I don't have time for fucking bullshit. And I really don't have time to fucking focus on other people. And that may sound horrible, but I have a son and I live in Arkansas and I have to, you know, focus on him and when he's coming down here and like my business stuff and work and all this shit. And I just don't have fucking time for extracurricular activities. And so as much as I love, like many of you, fucking getting up in them butts and them fucking looking at tits and boobies and stuff like that. There's a lot of bullshit that's attached to fucking relationships. And I just don't think I am fucking into it. And like I like busting a nut from time to time, but I don't like bullshit because there's more to relationships than just busting nuts. And so what I realized over the fucking years is I'm not a good person to be in a relationship. I am not. I'm not. And maybe part of it is I haven't found someone that I am like floored by. Like I see him and I'm like, whoa, damn. You know, like someone that makes me want to fucking waste time. Sounds fucking horrible. I'm not saying anything about this person. She was lovely. But I am not a good person for relationships. So, for anybody that is out there, any woman or guy or anybody that thinks I'm gonna fucking settle down, that ain't happening. I'm a fucking wild man. I'm a free fucking spirit. But mainly, I suck at relationships. So, if you're fucking piling up in my DMs, you can fucking eat a dick. You know, one of the things people ask me about fucking Instagram, they're like, you must have a lot of people hitting you up. And I do. I've fucking plenty of fucking... It's so stupid. Like, I've talked about this in the past, and I'm getting a little personal now. I've had a lot of women hit me up on fucking DMs, and there's very few that I talk to. And I feel super weird. By the way, I feel super weird about talking about this. It's a little bit fucking into my personal space. I've had plenty of women hit me up in DMs, and it's fucking nonsense, a lot of it. They want to use the fucking social media profiles to fucking up theirs. There's a few beautiful women out there that I fucking talk to. There's a very select few that I fucking have met before, and but I still go back to the fact that I ain't got time for bullshit. Like that fucking meme where it's like, ain't nobody got time for that. That's kind of how I feel all the time. And I like being single. I like fucking doing me. I like coming and going. I like fucking playing video games at any given fucking time of the day. I like saving my money and putting it in the stock market. I like using that money to make more money. And I ain't got time to fucking pay for Applebee's on a fucking Thursday, all right? Where you want to go there and fucking go to happy hour and shit. I ain't got time for that. I got to focus on me. I got to love me, which I already love me. But if I can't love myself, how can I love you? And I'm talking about all of you. If I can't love myself, how can I love my audience? It's just not fucking possible. All right? I got to love myself. I don't like that you guys made me talk about this. I just don't fucking like it. But I feel it was necessary. So, but anyway. Oh, could you smell that? I could. I'm back. I'm back in Arkansas. I'm not back in Arkansas. I just got here like fucking 2 or 3 months ago. And I love the area. But one of the things, if you know me, if you fucking have seen my profile or anything like that, I love to skydive. It's one of my fucking things. I just do it. But I don't post about it because I feel like it just, you picture me fucking jumping through the air like I'm a goddamn bird. I know there's a lot of people like to see it, but I just do it because I enjoy it. Much like this podcast, I don't care who sees it, so I don't post about it. But one of the things I noticed is that while, in the previous story where I was seeing somebody, I don't really have, it occupied my time a little bit. I feel nice person. occupied my time for a little bit. I got a little bored in the times where, as you do, you get bored sometimes. So I was like, I gotta figure out something in this fucking space where I'm not working. I'm not focusing on podcasts. I'm like sitting there and I'm watching fucking TV, which, by the way, I hate. The fact that I watched fucking Bo Burnham's new special, while I enjoyed it, I hate the fact that I'm getting on the fucking Netflix. If I'm watching TV, I'm watching fucking stand-up or anything, literally anything that's like a video presentation, including if I was to watch this fucking thing, I would feel like, fuck, I'm bored, because I feel like I need to be busy all the time. And so I was like, fuck, man, I got my skydiving shit. I haven't gone there. And I got some stuff coming up where I need to jump for stuff that I do and marketing and whatnot. So, every 180 days, you have to get your skydiving rig repacked, like the reserve to go jump. So, there's usually 2 parachutes unless it's like a base jumping rig. When you skydive, you have a main canopy, which is in the bottom, and then a reserve, which is repacked every 180 days by a FAA rigger who's certified and all that shit. And so, if you go to a new drop zone, like I've been to the one here in Arkansas, you need to have that repacked, and they check it every time you go to a new DZ. If you've never been there, they check your stuff and make sure that you're good to go. So I needed this one repacked because I think I'm like 3 months over my. I think I was like 3 months over my reserve repack shit. So brought it up there with the plans of just getting it repacked so that I could do the stuff that I'm doing coming up. And but while I was there, they're like, hey, you want to jump this rig? Like, go ahead and jump that, which is one of the cool things about skydiving, that it's like such a, at times, like depending on who the people are, like this drop zone, super, super dope people that run this drop zone and work there. And, but you can get some assholes out there, like super elitist, fucking miserable motherfuckers, with, as you would imagine, with a sport that's so expensive as skydiving, because it is over time, it's expensive. So I went up there, got my shit handed my rig over there. They gave me a new rig, and I wasn't planning on jumping. I was just like up there going to fucking get my shit repacked. I was in like short shorts, fucking flip flops, fucking a t-shirt, and they're like, hey, jump this stuff. We need people that jump, like, because it's a super small drop zone. It's a super small drop zone. They've got a Cessna aircraft, and some of those drop zones that are like that, they're super tight, super awesome, and this one is one of them. And so I jumped, and it was just like riding a fucking bicycle. It's been a little bit. It's been a few months, just like driving a fucking bicycle, and you get nervous when you haven't jumped a little bit. Like for me, it was 3 months, and you get nervous. Like you're like, fuck, man. Like a little bit, not overwhelmingly, because you just do this stuff. It's like riding a bicycle, like I said. So, get up there, jump, and the funny thing is, it's like you have a little bit of nerves going up there. It's been a few months, even though I have hundreds of jumps. Like, it's going up, and when the door goes open, or the door opens, it's like, this is where I fucking belong. This is where I fucking belong. Why the fuck haven't I done this? In the 3 months I haven't done it, because life and moving and all of this stuff. I belong here. This is where I need to be. It's like a form of therapy that you can't explain. You can't explain what it's like to fucking jump out of an airplane unless you've done it and you can just talk about it. It's a very weird thing. Like, I could tell you what it's like to jump out of an airplane from my perspective and what it was like for my first time. But for someone to understand it, they have to go do it. You can't explain this shit. You can't explain what it's like to fucking, when that door opens and the nerves hit and then you're like at the door, and to make that fucking leap. You can't, there's nothing like it that I've ever experienced. And the sheer enjoyment of those first 5 seconds, because when the free fall happens, once you get past what's called the hill, where you jump out and then you're coming down and leveling out and all that stuff, the first 5 seconds is like the most enjoyable part of the whole thing. And then the rest of it, there's a high enjoyment for the rest of it, but it's the first 5 seconds is like one of those things. To explain it is like how people explain DMT, taking DMT. It's like there's nothing I can say, and there's no language, there's no words that can actually explain the feeling of taking that leap from an aircraft. There's nothing that could explain it. And so as I'm doing it and I'm coming down, like I described, the hill, I was like, oh yes, I remember this. I'm back in my home. This is where I fucking belong. And so right there, it's like I said, therapeutic. All of the shit that I've been dealing with for the past few months of moving, just relocating, getting stood up here in Arkansas, dealing with the stress and unknowns of when, dealing with like figuring out here, because there's a lot involved that I'm not talking about. And I almost started talking about it, but I just don't want to get into it. But there's a lot involved dealing with being here and living my life here with everything that I had in Washington. As you've been watching the podcast, you know I had people there I'd podcast with, friends I had there that I developed, that really developing my fucking network of people, my friends, my home, like all of that stuff, and just one day just going bloop, up and relocating and having to fucking deal with that. It's life, baby. But skydiving is constant. It's a constant thing that brings me sheer enjoyment in life. And so to get back to it, and just fucking send it. Just fucking sending it is like, I needed it. I fucking needed it. And so what I'll say about it, let me get this in my mouth. If you have that thing in your life that you've been neglecting and you've been putting off because life gets in your way, and God knows life gets in the fucking way. It gets messy. Life gets in the fucking way. But if there's something out there that you enjoy, you cannot let life get in its way. Do that fucking thing, whatever it is. You love somebody. You love doing something. You love one of your hobbies. Do it. As Shia LaBeouf said, just fucking do it in front of the green screen. You gotta fucking do it. You gotta make time. You gotta prioritize your life, because this is all we fucking get. This is all we fucking get. This moment in time is all we get. And if you're just slaving away to make fucking money and not enjoying your life and being around the people you love, what the fuck is the point? There is none. If you have something you fucking love to do, if you love someone, if there's something out there that's your fucking jam, fucking do it. Don't regret this period of time that we have. Fucking do it. Life's too fucking short, my friends, to fucking fuck around with it. It's too fucking short. You know, I missed this love affair that I had with skydiving, and now I'm back at it, and I'm going all the fucking time if I can, because I fucking love it, you know. It's what fucking makes me happy. It's what makes me happy. You need to find out what makes you happy and fucking do that. If you've been neglecting it, fucking prioritize your shit. Okay? Money's great. Money's fucking great. I focus on money sometimes. You know, every morning I wake up, I look at the stock market, I look at my fucking portfolio, and I focus on that for a very short period of time, probably about an hour. Make sure all my money and my fucking ducks are in a line. Because if you have your money right, then you have the freedom to not focus on money. So get your shit in order and take some time for you to do what you fucking love to do. It's very important. You only get one life. YOLO. YOLO. But I'm back at it. I fucking love it. I'm excited. And the reason I'm talking about it is because I wanted to share this part of myself with you guys that maybe you fucking don't ever hear about. People loving skydiving, jumping up planes. I kill myself fucking weekly. I mean, I fucking commit suicide weekly, and then I save myself weekly. But hey, life is short. Life is fucking short. And what I do know is that this life that we've got going on, we've never been closer than now to finding out about fucking aliens and UFOs. Did it. Fucking segue. All right. This is the month, peeps. And I don't know if I haven't looked in the news. I probably should have before I talk. But this is the fucking month. This shit right here is when we find out about fucking UFOs at a fucking minimum. What the government knows. We're going to find out. This is the month. It's disclosure. Dick closure. Dick closure. That's like taking a staple to your fucking pee hole. What? I had to hold the cup like that because my hand is getting a little bit fucking, it's rough. If you've ever fucking taken a knife, a Damascus blade to your fucking hand, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'll find out tomorrow if it's infected. So I thought about this because everything's crazy. UFOs aren't a new subject. UFOs are not a new subject. And if you think they are, you're fucking retarded. And I've talked about this plenty of times on the episode, like a lot of people on podcasts now, because we just do whatever the fuck we want. So aliens, too obvious, right? We're not going to find out about aliens. There's no way this month, I mean, not no way, but for them to go, oh yeah, by the way, there's aliens. That fucking isn't happening. I can't see it happening. If it does, fuck me. Fucking awesome. The whole world's going to change if that's the case. If they actually say it and show proof. And then a lot of people aren't going to believe it. But what's the most logical for me, being someone who is in the military, knows about fucking stuff that goes on in there, like, what's the most logical thing? Look at all the other shit that's been going on. Corona, I don't even want to say it, so they just shut this stuff. The pandemic, right? So, there's a lot of confusion with it still to this day. Still to this fucking day. It's a fucking year and a half plus, and there's still confusion about what the fuck happened. A lot of people, you could say a lot of things I'm not going to get into. But there is confusion abroad with the COVID. I'm not happy I just said it because I don't want this podcast shut down. Anyway. It's very confusing. The whole fucking thing. The whole fucking thing. And if you look at anything that's been happening, it's very media driven. It's very confusing. It's they reveal all the times that they reveal often enough that a lot of these things are fucking put into the media to distract from something that's happening in the government so that nobody fucking knows, because what's our link to the government unless you're in there is the fucking media. Which is the most unfortunate part about this whole thing. I think this past fucking year and a half has exposed exactly how corrupt this whole fucking shit is. But It's what we got. It's the only. It's literally most people's only way to see what's happening. So, and I'm talking about the federal government, which I've said we should focus more on our local government and let the fucking leaders of the fucking states and counties focus on the federal government. But it is what it is. We got to know what's going on. But anyway, there's a lot of things that happen that are false flags to get the fucking general population on board with it. And so you could look at conspiracies with 9/11. You could look at conspiracies with World War II. You could look at any of these things to get national. There's a lot of things that have happened involving 3-letter agencies to gain the population's backing. So World War II, propaganda, get everybody involved. I'm not saying World War II wasn't needed. There was a lot of bad shit going on at that time. But what I am saying is propaganda is part of the fucking deal. So one day I was sitting there, I'm like, what if this UFO stuff has been one of the things that the CIA has been trying to get out there? Because if you listen to old tapes of, I think it was Reagan was like, it'd be awesome if there was a galactic threat that we had to unite the global population under. So I thought about that quote, and it's not really a quote because I don't know exactly what was said because I can't think. I've been drinking, all right? But I was like, what if this has been a plan from the whole time? Get everybody involved in this galactic threat to unite the world in a single solitary worldwide effort to stop the evil Klingons from invading, and then we could unite the population. Well, years have gone by and UFO stuff has been floating in and out. And I'm not saying there's not UFOs by any means. UFOs are a real thing. We can't identify them. They're unidentified. What I am saying is, pandemic was a situation and a time in our lives where literally so much fucking information or misinformation was put out that was, let's be honest, strategically put in there to see how much the fucking general population would believe. Call it misinformation, call it a campaign, an information campaign. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying off the top of my brain. What if this whole time was a fucking test bed to be like, oh yeah, here come the aliens. The government, and this is just a fucking bullshit ass thing. So disclaimer, I'm just fucking thinking, what if the CIA saw that everybody will believe whatever the fuck the government tells them at all times? Like, look at it. No masks needed. Okay, no masks. I'm not wearing a mask. You need a mask, or you're going to fucking die. Everybody's going to die. Okay, I'll put on masks. You need 2 masks. Put on 2, 3, 4, 5 masks. Not enough masks. Put them all on. They didn't say what kind of masks. I went out there wearing a Hulk mask. But the CIA sees this shit. And they're like, man, none of this is based in science. For the people that say trust the science, they sure as hell don't understand what fucking science or biology is, because we all know that once you gain the fucking antibodies, you're good for this season, right? Or whatever it is. It's what vaccines are. Anyway, so a perfect time to start fucking dropping information about something, especially to a population that just fucking believes whatever the government. It's the government. We gotta believe them. This would be a perfect time because it's like, obviously, a lot of the shit that was in the past, the fucking past year and a half, was bullshit. You know, on all levels, all fucking levels, it was all bullshit. And so you look at that and be like, man, these fucking people believe everything that's fucking told to them. Everything that's told to them. Everything. If a fucking authority tells them something, if there's authority that tells them something, they believe it and they just do what you say, like wear fucking 5 masks, they do it. And then they fucking yell at other people if they don't wear the 5 masks. You know, regardless if they're like, that's not based in science. They're like, but the government fucking told us, fucking HOA, the WHO told us, you have to fucking do it or you're going to kill my kids. It is proven over the past year and a half that people believe anything the fucking government tells you. And I'm not talking about like, I'd say maybe, just off the top of my head, 50% of people believe. But who are the people that fucking make changes? The ones that scream the most. The ones that scream the most are the ones that actually do things, because everybody else is like, God damn it, I just want to be left alone. I just want to fucking live my life and not deal with this. Fuck, do what you want. I don't give a fuck. Just leave me the fuck alone. And so, what if this is all bullshit, but what if this whole UFO shit that has been going on since the fucking atomic bomb has been dropped is just a false flag to get global participation and belief that a war against China is a fucking perfect answer? Because those motherfuckers obviously leaked that shit and it fucked up the world. It fucked up the world. And I'm not talking about it actually killed a bunch of people, because people die, the stats will show this is not fucking a lie. More people die every day by by driving cars than fucking die every day by COVID. More people die in 1 year by mosquito bites. Not joking one bit. It's a fucking fact. More people die of heart disease. It's the number one killer of fucking humans. And so we're scared. We're scared of this fucking thing. This flu. You know? If aliens did exist and they were coming here and they wanted to kill us, they would have fucking done it already. So now it's a buildup. Let's get everybody on board. And I'll explain. It's like, what does this have to do with China? I'll explain. I have a drone. And I'm not talking about like a little fucking thing that you get from fucking the toy store, which I don't think exists anymore. Toys R Us is gone. You got Amazon. Anyway, I have a Mavic Pro, which is like a video drone. It takes awesome shots, and I've used it maybe 4 times in my life, or since I bought it fucking years ago. But if you watch that shit and you put it up there, and you want it to go somewhere, you put it in sport mode if you want it to go fast, and it's almost instantaneously there. And I'm like, man, it has control surfaces on the outside, and it just hovers. It hovers where you want it to, and it drifts around a little bit. But then it can zip over, like especially if it's in sport mode, and it can fucking go pew, like all the way, like fucking 1,000 meters away, like within a minute or a few seconds, right? Now you take that thing, which is it's made in China. It's fucking, it's probably $100 to make, and they charge thousands of dollars for you to get it, or whatever it is now. It's probably not that much now. Take that, multiply it by government effort within the United States that makes $1 million fucking drone that's as big as this. And if you've ever seen Predator drone, they have control surfaces. They look like normal planes, but it's a drone and it's got a propeller and stuff. But who's to say you can't take a fucking a drone, make it look like a UFO, and have a quadcopter type of aspect to it with propellers in there, that it's disguised to make it look like sleek control surfaces. And if you video it under thermal, you can edit that shit out with Adobe Premiere Pro. My point is, we just trust the government to be like, oh, they're telling us there's UFOs and it's being released and whatever. And you have all these people that are like, yeah, who the fuck knows? That's the point. You know, the government coming out, and it's super exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's super exciting. There's probably UFOs. This is all just me thinking what it could be. But let's go back to COVID. Everybody's, people are kind of hesitant. We're on the verge of something. Whether it's UFOs, aliens, life out there, or smashing the fuck out of China with national and fucking international involvement. I look at this like this. If we were going to pin something on anybody, especially with UFOs that are now hovering over military bases, it'd be too easy for the U.S. government to go, hey, these are UFOs. This is what we know about them. Oh, by the way, China is involved. It's their drones. They've been pushing it over. And then watch. Fucking magically, I'm going to take a prediction. There's probably going to be a fucking event where they attacks one of these bases in the coming months after disclosure. And they're going to say, we know that China was involved. They fucking attacked our base. And now we need to go smash them. We need fucking NATO involvement. And I look at it like this. China is becoming a fucking major fucker in the entire world, right? Like, they released COVID. They are buying everything up. They're fucking up everybody fucking financially. They're buying up all the goddamn crypto. How easy, let's just realistically think, how easy would it be for fucking the United States government to fucking pin the UFO shit on China and to get everybody else on board because everybody's been waiting to go fuck up China? I'm just saying, I'm not pro-China by any means. I'm pro-America, dude. I'm just looking at this from a fucking weird perspective. Maybe aliens are bullshit. Maybe we are the only ones here in this infinite galaxy. Not likely. I say that because I really hope that it's fucking aliens. I hope it's like I was saying on one of the last podcasts. I hope it's fucking octopus. That would make the most sense. If there were octopi in the ocean that were flying these funky spaceships, and they're like, yep, because they're not like anything else. It's probably octopi. It's also probably China. Who knows? And it's probably not China. It's probably the United States making up some bullshit. And I'm from America. So, it's just my 2 cents. Anyway. That's my topic about alien conspiracy to bring on war against China. What the fuck's going to happen in the next few months? I'm just fucking curious. I think the next few months are going to be fucking wild. Like, way more wild than fucking COVID was. COVID was just stay inside. But now it's like, wow, something. I think we're on the verge of something dramatic. And I just don't fucking know what it is, other than it's China and fucking UFOs. But anyway. See, I got COVID. It's not. I got COVID just talking about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, all right? I'm going to drink this beer. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments, you know? What do you think? We got a Discord. You can go on there and talk. People send memes, all kind of inappropriate stuff that's not appropriate for fucking PC culture. But you can go on our fucking Discord. You know, if you go to our link in our bio on any of our social medias, especially Instagram, you can see all the links of everything we do there. Join up on Discord. And join in on the conversation. You know, you got topics to discuss. You want to find out what I think about stuff, or Mark wants to think about stuff, or David wants to think about stuff. You go on there, fucking submit some shit. There's a whole room that's dedicated to episode topic suggestions. You can go on there and fucking tell us what kind of episodes you want to fucking have on the podcast, because I need help. I need help fucking figuring out what to talk about. So, and we got Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/violentprofessional and fucking join up there and get, help the podcast grow. We got we're on every fucking platform, by the way. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. I didn't take a fucking multi-million-dollar deal to be on Spotify. I'm just there because I love you. All right? And go check out TaskDev on Instagram. I promised I'd talk about it today. TaskDev is a veteran nonprofit organization out of Washington and Arkansas now. We're going to be doing awesome fucking events coming up. We got 3 events on the books up in the Pacific Northwest. And we're going to be giving away in Arkansas a free tandem skydive if you're a veteran or a veteran supporter. So go check out at TASKDEV, and fucking follow the page to be notified when we drop that free tandem skydive. If you ever wanted to jump out of a plane, you could get one of those for free. And you don't have to pay the hundreds of dollars to go tandem. We'll just fucking pay for it. We'll pay for it. And you get that shit for free. There's going to be some stipulations. You don't just get that. Everybody that fucking follows now, you don't just get that. There's going to be some stipulations. You got to follow. You got to maybe send a video that says why you think you fucking deserve it. Why do you deserve to test gravity? Why do you deserve to go out there and be like, I don't know if gravity exists. I'm going to jump out and see. Maybe you fly up into space because gravity is just it's a fucking mindset. But also you could go to the Earth and fucking land on a nice fucking canopy. You know, go there, check out TASDEV. We got plenty of events coming up. We're going to be doing some day hikes here in Arkansas. I'm going to be leading that shit out. You can come meet me and come hang out in fucking Arkansas and go look at some fucking beautiful scenery because Arkansas is fucking beautiful. And I had one more thing to talk about, but I got to pee, so I can't fucking think. I can't fucking think right now. Oh. Anyway, kids, thanks for checking out this episode of the Violent Professional Podcast. I truly appreciate it. We'll see you next time.